How you doing? Another tutorial for you today. I'm going to take you through a really cool sound that you hear in a lot of sort of modern neo soul music. References, you'll hear it in the likes of Tom Misch's track Movie. You'll hear it in there's a track called Joe Hertz, but called I Owe You. That's another very cool one. Yeah, it's just a really nice sine wavy chord sound that you hear. A lot of, you could use a sort of Rhodes piano sound, but this one's a little bit more modern, and I'm just going to take you through the really simple technique of how I do it. Anyway, you know, you might do it in a totally different way. So what I've done is put together a really simple beat and a piano part here. So I'll play it to you now just so that you can hear essentially what it is. So yeah, really simple, you know, 3 chords. The trick to writing sort of neo soul and R&B chords as well, I'll show you really quickly, is to use ninths. So that's obviously 1 up from the octave, and then yeah, a nice spread long chord. So it's that note and that note that give it the really nice sort of soulful sort of sound, I suppose. So right, I'm just going to take you through how I create this sort of. I'm going to use a synth called Cakewalk Zeta, but you can do this in Synth. You can do it in, you know, pretty much anything. But I like to use this because it has a really nice sort of attack sound to it. Just initialize it so that we've got a completely fresh patch. I'm just going to move the chords down to this instrument. What's key as well is the chords have been played in. So if you notice, they're not exactly right on time, and that gives it that really does make a difference. It makes it sound a little bit more human, and it just yeah, it makes for a much more natural sound. So what I'm going to do is really simple. I'm just going to select a very standard sine wave here, and already just with it like that, you can hear that we're fairly close to what it is that we're going for. Sorry if the sound's cutting out slightly. Okay, so that's cool. It's a little bit rumbly in the low end, so I'm just gonna put an EQ to take away some of that sort of really muddy low end. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is a technique that's called legato. So a lot of synths will give you an option to add legato to it, which is essentially where the attack of the synth pitches upwards. I'm going to do it manually, but yeah, you can really do it either way that you want. So I'm just going to send the first envelope generator, turn it right the way up. So that's just that envelope generator. I'm just going to send this to the pitch of all the oscillators, and you'll see the effect that this has. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. You can tweak it around a little bit, and you might not want to use the legato, but if you hear, it's a really common sound in neo soul, but it's more about getting the right chords as well. That's kind of the most important thing to this. You want it to be a really spread out chord with, you know, potentially fifths in the low end and, like I say, ninths in the high end, and that really does make a difference. So if I add just, you know, if I play it just with a really nice Moog sort of sounding bass. And there you go. That's a really, really simple technique that you can use if you want to start making sort of soul music. Yeah, hope you found that useful. Leave some comments below if you think, you know, if you think you'd do it a different way, or if there's anything you could help me with as well, then please comment below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Laters.